All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today here on the Daily Top 7 at 7. It is February the 8th, 2017. I'm really glad you could join me. Before we get started on today's news like we normally do, I am making an announcement. We have a concert coming on March the 6th, 2017. That's right, in a little less than a month. So if you would like tickets to go see the show, I would like you to put your name in the comments. So the very first person that I see comments is going to get 2 tickets to the show. And I feel the need to mention this now because I really don't think anybody is making it to the end of the episodes when I am actually making these announcements. So the announcements go at the beginning while I still have your attention. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. Let's see. Don't build walls, Pope Francis says. Okay. All right, Turkish-led forces advance into outskirts of Syrian city. Syrian rebels backed by the Turkish military have captured the outskirts of Islamic State-held city of Al-Bab in northern Syria, the Turkish government and rebel sources said on Wednesday. Russian opposition leader Navalny says Kremlin sabotaging his presidential bid. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny accused the Kremlin of trying to block him from running in next year's presidential election after a court on Wednesday found him guilty of embezzlement. Well, that's Russia for you. Exclusive, more than 1,000 feared killed in Myanmar army crackdown on Rohingya. Excuse me. More than 1,000 Rohingya Muslims may have been killed in a Myanmar army crackdown, according to 2 senior United Nations officials dealing with refugees fleeing the violence, suggesting the death toll has been a far greater one than previously reported. Francis Fillon makes appeals to voters, retains party backing. French presidential candidate Francois Fillon appealed to voters on Wednesday via a newspaper column to back his campaign, trying to claw back support after losing his place as frontrunner over accusations of fake jobs for his family. So, now they are saying that they're accusations. Previously, they were saying that it was fact that, she did do this, and now it's down to accusations. So, just goes to show you, even in the same news source that you're getting from day to day, you can't always trust what they say. You got to take it with a grain of salt, especially in today's flavor economy, I guess you could say. That's not a racist thing. When I say flavor, is that there is no such thing as non-biased news anymore. So, support for Scottish independence rises after Prime Minister May goes for clean break Brexit. Support for Scottish independence has risen since British Prime Minister Theresa May came out last month in favour of Britain making a clean break with the European Union when it leaves the bloc, an opinion poll showed on Wednesday. Now, here's something I wonder. So, when the Scots secede from England, when they finally get their independence here, are they going to join the EU? You never know. All right, let's see what we got here. Erdogan, Trump agree joint action against Islamic State in Syria. President Tayyip Erdogan and U.S. President Donald Trump agreed in an overnight phone call on joint action against Islamic State in the Syrian town of Raqqa and Al-Bab, both held by militants, Turkish presidency sources said on Wednesday. Rights groups challenge Israel's new settlements law in court. Rights groups petitioned Israel's Supreme Court on Wednesday to annul a heavily criticized law that retroactively legalized some 4,000 settler homes built on privately owned Palestinian land in the occupied West Bank. Petitioned. So I'm still, we've been following this for several weeks, and I'm still completely unclear on what the heck is going out. We don't know. I seriously don't know who owns the land properly, because one source will say that, this is privately owned Palestinian land, and then other people are saying this is on Israel's territory, or Israel's, within their within the lines of their country. So, I mean, come on. Until a straight story can be pulled out of that, nothing's coming. Same thing here in America until, yeah. Sorry, guys. Italy will ramp up migrant deportations, minister. Italy will boost deportation of migrants who do not have a right to stay in the country and open new detention centers for those being sent home, Interior Minister Marco Minniti said on Wednesday. Don't build walls, Pope Francis says. Pope Francis said on Wednesday that society should not create walls but bridges to encourage good relations among people, adding it was wrong to be spiteful and say, I'll make you pay for that. Well, Pope Francis, I tried telling that to, people in charge once, and the Japanese have a saying to counter that. The nail that sticks up gets hammered down. Romanian government survives no confidence motion over graft debacle. Romania's social democrat-led government easily survived no confidence motion in parliament on Wednesday, 3 days after mass street protests forced it into an embarrassing U-turn over a graft decree. All right, so the first picture we've seen of this whole situation without mobs. Well, you guys, obviously there's a lot of things going on in the world that I would like to talk to you guys about. I would not want to call myself a pro-Trumper or a pro-Obamist, so I'm somewhere right in the middle. I can't really say that I can support either agenda, because one agenda looks to me like you're letting in the entire world, and in 20 years, we're all going to be Muslims. I wish I didn't feel that way, but there's literally footage of spiritual leaders saying, go to America as refugees, disseminate, get into places of power, and we will have a Muslim country in a bloodless coup within 20 years. And then the other half of the coin says, that we should be like totalitarian and shut off and disregard the respect for anybody. And I can't fall into that category. There are people out there who do need to be saved. So let's go ahead and wrap it up today. I'm glad you guys were here, and put your name in the comments for that shirt, for the shirts and the tickets. Peace.